Welcome, everyone. We are going to begin the webinar on defect removal and finishing. Credit toward iCar knowledge areas can be awarded by completing the class and following the instructions at the end of the presentation. I'm Melissa Joles with RDA Impact. DJ White, Regional Sales Manager for the Northeast for Saint-Gobain, is your presenter today. Presentation will take approximately 30 minutes. And at the end of the presentation, we will send you the test, which you will need to complete and email back to Dennis Beardsley with your iCar information, and we will include instructions. We are recording the presentation, and we will make it available to everyone in attendance today. And as always, if you have questions, you can type them in the chat box at the bottom right of your screen, and they will be answered during the presentation. Now, I'll turn it over to DJ.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm DJ White with Saint-Gobain, part of the Automotive Aftermarket Division. I'm the Regional Sales Manager for the Northeast U.S. Some of you I may know, or you may know me, and others, this could be our first time meeting, but I'm happy to be here, appreciative of the time, and I'd like to thank everyone for joining us to be a part of this course. So we're just going to get started. We're going to talk today about defect removal and finishing, something I'm very passionate about, being a former technician myself and a painter for 10 years. This is a process that doesn't get enough attention, but here as a part of this RDA course, we're going to highlight these processes and try to better educate everyone on defect removal and finishing processes. First, I just want to go over initial disclosures. It is the policy of Saint-Gobain Abrasives to fully disclose to all participants in this course that Saint-Gobain Abrasives is the provider of this curriculum using this course. Refinish Solutions Group, better known as RSG, an initiative of Saint-Gobain Abrasives, sells the products that are taught and used in this course. We do have an antitrust. We follow the Combines Act, which protects free trade. There will be no discussion on pricing, times, or labor rates as a part of this course. Also, no discussion on how a body shop or collision repair company conducts its business. First, I just would like to highlight that Saint-Gobain is an iCar sustaining partner. As an iCar sustaining partner, we support iCar's vision, mission of delivering the latest repair knowledge and training to every collision repair technician. We believe in doing the right thing for the industry by helping deliver complete, safe, and quality repairs to the ultimate benefit of our families, friends, neighbors. So a couple benefits to Saint-Gobain partnering with iCar as a sustaining partner. We're able to help reduce training costs to the end user, to the technicians, the body shops, and the front offices. We help lower training costs, encouraging shops to continue or even increase training to stay current with today's complex vehicles. This also reduces schooling fees, which is very common in the industry as technicians need to stay up to date on OEM procedures and best practices. As a partner, we provide financial support to allow more schools to run programs that develop better trained entry-level technicians. Probably the most important piece is we're providing safe repairs. As a partner, we provide resources to help iCar develop and deliver the training and services needed for safe repairs. Everyone on this call, all technicians included especially, this is what we do for a living, and we have to take pride in it because it could be your best friend's mother or your aunt or uncle that the vehicle is being repairs being performed on. So we try to treat every repair as if it's a family member of ours. We want everyone to be out on the road driving safe, repaired vehicles. Also, as a part of the iCar sustaining partner, we are dedicated to repairing vehicles right. Trained shops are better partners in a nutshell. That's our goal here, is to make sure every shop is fully up to date on all OEM best practices, paint manufacturer SOPs, as well as all the ins and outs of every different process that we see from the estimator to the detailer in the body shop. We also make sure that we're providing proper repair information. Education information iCar provides emphasizes the importance of using quality parts and services in OEM repair procedures. This also reduces liability and expenses. So supporting the Sustaining Partner Program allows ICAR to supply the information and training the industry needs to perform complete, safe, and quality repairs. What does that do for all of us? It makes a happy customer, which is the end goal. We want quality repairs, which gives us happy customers, and also for those collision front offices, repeat business, which then pays all of our technicians. Testing. So at the close of this course, we're going to have about a 10 or 15 minute questionnaire test sent out. Passing this test will allow the student to receive a certification affirming completion of the course. Passing the test will allow the student to apply for an ICAR credit for 2 hours. Again, as a part of the ICAR Sustaining Partner Agreement we have, these course hours are free of charge to you after completion of this test. Before we get into the curriculum, I just would like to highlight who the RSG, or the Refinish Solutions Group, is. It's a select group of industry leaders that's come together to leverage the core expertise into one powerful network to assist you in improving our refinishing process and increasing your profitability. We have our collective group of manufacturing lines that can see the job from the beginning to the end of the process, and allows for you to have one point of contact for all of these manufacturing companies, as well as your service and needs. RSGs, over 700 years of expertise. Collectively, we look back at Norton, founded in 1885, all the way to our newest member, SolarGuard, in 1980, and everything in between. So a lot of expertise, knowledge, manufacturing history, and responsibility in the industry as a part of this group. Who is in the RSG, or the Finishig Solutions Group? Obviously, Saint-Gobain companies and products that we manufacture. That's Norton, Carborundum, and Ferrecla, and SolarGuard as well. We also have our partner brands, IPG, better known as American Tape, DeVilbiss Automotive Refinishing, Fuser Repair Adhesives, and Hutchins as well. Okay, so let's get started with our official course, Defect Removal and Finishing. Also, I'll highlight that if there's any questions along the way, please feel free to leave a note in the comment box, and we'll try to respond to those as they come up to the best of our ability. So the objectives for this course, we're going to start off just covering safety, best practices. Then we'll get into defect identification. To identify defects, we need to know the type of defects, as well as how to remove those defects. So we'll follow with removal and denibbing, and then we'll get into the meat and potatoes, which is our buffing process. Then we'll close the show with detail and vehicle cleanup. Safety, I might highlight here that this is Dennis Beardsley, our national trainer from Saint-Gobain. Everyone may or may not know him, but he heads our facility in Troy, New York, and he's usually the one who manages these courses. But here he is with a little cameo using our Norton back rack. So you can see he's outfitted with gloves. He has safety glasses. He also has a respirator or dust mask, and he's also wearing earplugs. All preferred safety equipment to protect you while you're working on vehicles and using any heavy or minor equipment. Again, this is something I don't take lightly. I've seen technicians get hurt on the job. It's not something that you ever want to happen at your business, to you as a technician, and to any of your peers. So we strongly advise safety always be worn and used as protective equipment. So defect identification. Identify the type of defects in the surface. That's the first thing we want to do. Some shops tend to have a blanket policy. They might texture sand, or they might nib sand everything. As a technician, you're the expert. You should identify what type of defects you have, whether it's a run, dirt, or orange peel, which is better known as texture in the paint. How do we identify the defects? We're gonna examine the panel and visualize what the panel should look like versus how it does actually look. And again, what are we looking for? Runs, dirt nibs, or excessive texture. We do want OEM texture, which sometimes can be pilly depending on the manufacturer, but there's certain vehicles that have flatter, more vibrant textures, and we want to make sure that we're trying to reflect the OEM texture in that panel. Here's a snapshot of the different types of defects. This should help everyone better identify what we're looking for in the detail shop as a part of these SOPs for defect removal. First, in the top left-hand corner, you'll see fish eyes. That panel's actually pretty textured, in my opinion, as well, but there's a clean fish eye almost to the middle of the panel. Sometimes we see these in bunches. Other times they're spread throughout the whole entire panel, every square inch. To the right of that, you'll see orange peel. It's also very thick in texture and probably not going to match any other panels on the vehicle. And also, the average customer picking that vehicle up is going to notice a defect like that. So we would have to take care of that. Then you'll see in the bottom left corner is the dirt nib. We all have seen dirt nibs. We've felt them. You can run your hand over a panel and find a dirt nib, or you can just identify it. The cleaner the shop, the cleaner the spray booth, the more efficient the paint processes are. Also, based on the equipment you're using, most dust extractors and vac machines can help limit dirt nibs. But in the event that we do have a dirt nib, here's a small picture for you to help identify that and take care of it. Bottom right-hand corner, you can see it's a classic run on the door edge. Why is it usually on the door edge? Because most painters, they overlap there. It's a nice spot to break and release your fan pattern. So we often have a lot of texture, and it's a surface that the product can easily build up on. Defect removal and denibbing. You need to choose the correct grit. Now, some paint manufacturers have their own SOPs and their own recommendations for sanding their top coats, but generally there is a rule of thumb and SOP grit range that we find on the finer grits for these practices, which we will get into. Once the defect is identified, determine the right grit for removal. The size of the defect will establish the grit required for the process. A larger blemish requires a coarser grit. And your objective, what are we trying to accomplish? With the coarser grit and the abrasive used will flatten the surface. Again, we like to refer to the paint manufacturer's film thickness recommendations because we do not want to take too much product off, which can then expose us to further errors and issues with that vehicle. Polish preparation. So to prepare to polish a vehicle, we use finer grits as needed after initial defect removal. Finishing with a 2000 grit foam abrasive disc is most common. Some compound and polish manufacturers, I won't name them, require you to step out your grits to even finer. I'm seeing some processes now calling for even as high as 8,000 grit. With the products and processes that Saint-Gobain offers, we generally don't ask for anyone to go above 2,000 grit. In most cases, you can stop at 1,500. But again, refer to the paint manufacturer's recommendation. They manufacture the product. They know what's best for that top coat. You'll want to clean your area and blow your surface clean with dry air first. I'm going to play a short video here, and I'll talk through the process. Again, as you can see here, always wear personal protective equipment. Here, our technician is cleaning off the panel with a microfiber rag. Spotted the dirt in it. I'm not sure if anyone else did. First step, we're going to hit this panel with 1500 grit and an interface pad to help us contour along those angles. You can see he attached a fine grit 1500 liquid ice 6-inch DA sanding disc. He's using his Hutchins 3/32 orbital polisher. Why do we want a 3/32? It's a very tight, fine throw, which helps with pigtails. Second step, removes the interface pad, and he's attaching a 2000 foam disc, which also gives you a little more give and take to contour those body lines. Lightly spraying the panel with water. He then goes on to sand, help feather out those 1500 grit scratches, ultimately making it easier for our next step, which is our buff. Here we have our Forecla G360 Superfast Compound 90600, famous number. Great product, by the way. He's applying minimal product. He's rubbing it in thoroughly into the panel so it minimizes his compound throw and sling. Also, he's running it at a low RPM, 12 to 1500. It's technician preference. I don't tell guys where to be at, but most technicians, they know what to do here. Next, we're going to polish. Now, with Forecla G360, our polishing step is the same bottle as our compounding product, which is the 90600. Same product, new pad. He attaches a black pad, which is going to give us an even finer polish. Turns down his RPM. Roughly, I recommend around 900 RPM on this step. You can push that, though, a little bit higher. Again, technician preference. Now, step 3. Because this is a black vehicle, we're going to have to pull out 90601, our super fast finish. Similar low RPM. Now he's going to grab the super fast finish, which you notice has the black cap and not the white cap. The white cap indicates it's the compound. The black cap indicates it's our third step of polish. And we attach the blue pad, work our product in to minimize sling, and we're off to the races. This final step we only use on black vehicles. Now you'll see here, once he's all finished, he's using our Norton liquid dry ice. This is a final detail inspection. Get a clean look at the panel. Make sure those defects are removed. Voila. Beautiful finish there. Thank you to Forecla and the RSG group for manufacturing and selling this product. So, moving along. Again, we just saw Forecla in action. It's a UK-based company with Saint-Gobain Group. Forecla is one of the largest polishing compound manufacturers worldwide. They're not new to the industry. They've been here since 1952. Saint-Gobain recently acquired them roughly 4 years ago. It's a product that we've had a ton of success with. It's known in the market. Since we've acquired them, we recently reformulated their compound and polish, and it's married well with the abrasive products we manufacture. It's a product I can guarantee you, once you use it, you're going to want to reorder it. So what you see is what you get. There's no fillers. There's no magic here. With the cut that you have on day 1 is the same cut you'll have on day 30, day 90, through rain and washes. So for buffing, some other detailed steps, which we kind of outlined during the video. We need to prep our vehicle with 15 grit sandpaper, 1500, I'm sorry. And that's on that 3/32 DA, which is, again, a dual action sander and interface pad for best practices. Helps us get along those contour lines, prevents burn-throughs, breakthroughs. And also, again, that 3/32 throw, it's just a really fine, tight orbit. It just allows for minimal pigtails and much finer scratches than your standard 3/16 DA, which you see in the course or body shop side of the business. You never want to sand with a 5/16. You want to always check and make sure you're using a 3/32 DA. That is in the detail shop. Our step one, which also we highlighted in the video, you're going to apply your compound, and we're using the white pad. Again, this is an upper industry debate, foam versus wool. I'm a firm believer, as a former technician myself, that technicians, they have their preferences, but I can tell you the SOPs and best practices. I personally was a foam guy. I know tons of painters who prefer, detailers who prefer wool. I'm not going to tell you which one to use, but they both have their skill sets and specialties. You'll adjust your variable speed buffer to the preferred speed, 13 to 1500 RPM. On this step in compound, you'll spread your compound over the work area to reduce excess sling. Again, the reckless compound has a viscosity to it that naturally reduces the sling. We actually put our abrasives in there. It's about the same consistency as baby powder, but it helps minimize the sling, and it helps cut while you're cutting with the pad. Again, for our polish step, we're going to switch to a black pad, but we're going to use the same product in our super fast compound, or 90600. For you existing customers, you'll set your variable speed between 900 and 1300 RPM. Definitely want to be on that closer to 900 side on this step, but again, technician preference if you like to crank that up to that 1300 side. You'll place your pad flat on the surface and apply zero pressure to reduce swirls. It's important that we minimize pressure with this black pad here. It's going to make for an overall better finish, and it's going to be less rework for you. After the area is compounded, wipe it clean using a microfiber pad, and you'll note also to remember to spur pads frequently to avoid clogging and maximize pad life. For your darker vehicles, that's black, your carbon grays, your purple vehicles, you're going to want to step out to your third step, which is going to be that black cap or 90601 product. You're going to use your blue finishing foam pad as well. You'll turn that RPM down even further down to 800 here, and you'll just same process as the polish, but you're just doing it with a finer grit chemical product and a finer pad as well. This will enhance the depth of the gloss, which is really important on the dark vehicles. After the area is compounded, wipe it clean again using a microfiber pad or towel. Next, it's important to deliver a vehicle, worst case, back in the state that it was given to you. Most body shops nowadays are detailing the vehicles. Or at least washing pre-delivery. Some simple processes you'll want to do in detailing the vehicle or cleaning it up is you'll want to clean your wheels. We have our Revive Hyper Concentrates, which is a great option for the detail shop to detail and clean vehicles. You'll also want to wash your exterior of the vehicle. You'll vacuum and clean the interior. You'll clean the glass, and then you'll do your final overall inspection of the vehicle. Once the vehicle is washed, you can then clearly identify if there's any areas of concern, defects, or nibs that you need to revisit. I just slightly touched on our Revive by RSG Hyper Concentrates, but we'll go a little deeper here. This is a product just released this year. The Revive is a line owned by Saint-Gobain and a part of their Refinish Solutions group. And what we did here is we just repackaged our dilutables. These are 64-ounce containers, which is a half gallon. For each 64 ounces, it gives you 94 spray bottles of product here. This is a product that marries well in your detail shop. It doesn't take up half the space that the 5-gallon dilutables do. It's also very technician friendly. There's no diluter. There's no rack that goes, or I should say shelved rack. There is a small shelving rack that you can scroll into the wall, and it houses all these products here pictured. This allows for you to have more shelf space, transform those bulky 5-gallon concentrates into these low viscosity 64-ounce containers. These products are compliant, silicone-free, and environmentally safe. You'll see at the bottom we have an all-purpose cleaner, a degreaser, soap, glass cleaner, wheel cleaner, spray bottles, and pumps included. This product is new to the market, and again, it's a one-size-fits-all detail shop product that works in small shops, large shops, and for you over-the-counter guys who are working on your hot rod on the weekend. So just to review everything we've covered today, we went over our defect identification, types of defects, defect removal and denibbing. Then we went over buffing processes and SOPs. Then we followed with detail and vehicle cleanup. Do we have any questions?
Okay, if anybody does have questions, you can go ahead and type them in. If not, as always, I will send DJ's information to everybody, as well as Dennis Beardsley, because that's where you're going to send the test to. We'll have a copy of the presentation, and I, again, will send the recording in the next day or so. I don't see any questions, DJ, so I think we're good. You were very thorough. Appreciate your time today. Thanks for spending time training our people on defect removal and finishing, and we'll follow up with everybody with the ICAR test.
Thank you, Melissa, and thank you again to the RDA group. We really appreciate this opportunity to train and enhance and keep, the technician morale up in our industry, as it's important that we deliver these vehicles with the best SOPs in the field.
Absolutely.
So
great.
Thank you so much.
Okay, take care, everyone, and we'll be in touch with future training opportunities. Bye.
Thank you.